hand to show that I didn't know the language. Another policeman, with a kahwa cup in his hand, rose from his seat, came towards us, and asked us for our patakas. Yes, finally, someone asked the question. We helplessly shook our heads to say we didn't have it. He placed the kahwa cup on the table, opened the drawer, took a tissue paper, and wiped his hands and lips. Then, walking inside, he signaled us to follow him. He took us to the room of the mudir, who looked up from the computer screen when he saw us enter. The policeman who escorted us told the mudir something, and he asked us something. We didn't betray any signs of understanding. I did not have to pretend. I really didn't understand most of what the policeman said or what the mudir asked. But Hamid had to put on an act. I had heard him speaking fluent Arabic. Again, the mudir and the policeman talked about something. Meanwhile, I scanned his room. It was a large office. On the walls were verses from Quran, portraits of kings, and a picture of the Kaaba. On the left, from where the mudir was sitting, was a TV, and on his right, a computer. A little further away, a sofa and a teapoy. On the teapoy was a flower vase with some plastic flowers. The wall opposite had a board with some photos pinned on it. I gazed at those photos. Bearded people with dead fish eyes, blacks in Arab dress. The Arabic lettering beneath each must have been their names. When I reached the third photo in the fourth row, my eyes froze like polar ice. I shook my head and looked at it again carefully. My heart began to pound and a sudden panic gripped me. Without realizing what I was doing, I began to walk towards the board on which the photo was stuck. Ibrahim Khadiri. I placed my hand on my heart. What? Do you know him? The policeman asked me. I felt panic-stricken. The change in my manner was obvious. Still, I shook my head in a no. The mudir called me, and when I went up to him, he jumped up and slapped me across my ear. Oh, only I remember how pain steamed out through the other ear. If you don't know him, why did you go to look at the photo? The mudir bellowed. I stood with my head bowed. He asked me something else in Arabic. I didn't answer. Finally, after cracking another slap, he sank back into his chair. I didn't cry. But Hamid did. So, he didn't get slapped. The mudir gave the policeman some instructions. We were taken to another room and handed over to another policeman. He opened a cabinet, took out handcuffs, and put them on us, after which he made us sit on a bench. Like us, the 4 or 5 others there were also in handcuffs. I doubt if any of them were as happy to be arrested as we were. In the afternoon, the cuffs were removed and we were put in a cell. 6 people occupied the cell that could hardly accommodate 3. I recall a Malayali named Kumar among them. He had been working in a vegetable shop and was arrested because his Arab had accused him of theft. As for the 2 Arabs and the Pakistani in our cell, I didn't know what crimes they had been charged with. None of us could sleep that night, as we sat packed together like we were in an overcrowded train compartment. And with the Arabs spreading their legs comfortably, others had to suffer even more. Still, compared to what I had endured, that narrow cell was heaven to me. The next morning, after tea, we were handcuffed again and taken out in a vehicle. There were other handcuffed people in that vehicle who tried to get acquainted with one another. Even among them, Hamid and I remained silent and kept our heads bowed. After a long journey, the vehicle stopped inside the compound of the largest prison in the country, Sumesi. Many vehicles from different corners of the country entered the prison yard at various times. From each, hundreds of criminals came out. Absurd as it sounds, this scene reminded me of the marriage halls back home. The prisoners resembled the groom's tired relatives milling about the venue. Now, I had become one such relative. Once out of the vehicle, we were taken to the warden's office. It was very busy there. Many policemen came and went. Lawyers came and went. Mutawwas came and went. Arabs too came and went. At a glance, it reminded me of the porticos of